The Commentary Booth is a show for media lovers by media lovers just like you. If you want to support the show, go to jamiapsmedia.com. Welcome to the Commentary Booth, the ultimate weekly entertainment recap and review show. My name is Jamie Apps, and each week I'll be joined by a rotating cast of co-hosts to run you through the entertainment media we've consumed during the week. Along the way, we'll provide you with insightful commentary and reviews. This week I'm joined by a DJ and music marketing executive and future host of the Super Bowl, who lists their favourite movie as Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and was deciding to go with Parks and Rec as favourite show. Welcome back to the show, Jaxon Carr.
Hey mate, thanks for having me. How you going?
Not too bad, yourself?
Mate, things are picking up, you know. I had 3 DJ gigs last weekend. I've got 4 this weekend, including, which would have been in the past by someone else, I'm emceeing at a Super Bowl party in Bathurst. So it's my first gigs out of Sydney since 2019, and yeah, looking forward to it. So things are all right. How about yourself?
Yeah, busy, just working on the old rebrand and everything that I've got coming up, but it's all falling into place slowly. Registered the business name and got the URL and everything, so it's all sorted.
I like that. It's good. It's exciting times. I like what you've discussed with me about it so far.
Apart from that, just staying out of this heat and then the rain that we got in the middle of it and then back to being hot again.
It's wild, huh?
Lovely. During that time, we started a new show over on Stan.
Okay, yep.
It's called It's a Sin.
Okay.
Have you seen it sort of pop up on the home screen there?
Yeah, I've seen, I haven't really been using Stan a lot lately, but I've seen some ads and stuff for it online, but I haven't really paid attention to it because I'm like, I have enough. I need to focus on watching. I don't want to get another show. But now you're going to probably get me hook, line and sinker, so let's get into it.
Yeah, I think this will probably catch your attention, but it's a nice easy one to watch. It's only 5 episodes and they're all about 45 minutes long, so it's not a huge investment, but it's a 5-part British series. As I mentioned, it's now available on Stan, and it's set between 1981 and 1991 in the UK, and it follows a group of friends who are mostly gay men and teenagers as sort of the HIV and AIDS epidemic explodes in Britain.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about the friends and how they all get along, and then obviously the unknown of what is this disease and how scary that was at that time, which is sort of pretty poignant at the moment with COVID. It's very similar themes, really.
Yeah, wow. Really hits home in a way.
Yeah, it hit at the perfect time, I think. It's really easy to empathise with these characters as sort of a straight man. I don't think usually this would have caught my attention, but because it's all about this whole idea of this new unknown disease and how quickly we've all sort of come to realise how horrific the outcomes can be, it sort of hit in that way, and then it's just got really great characters and everything as well, so it's really a really good show, actually.
Any actors of note in it, or is it just one of those shows where all the actors are just amazing and you've never heard of them before?
So the main cast are all sort of unknown people, but in episode 1, Neil Patrick Harris makes a brief appearance.
Oh, that's nice.
Strange to see him actually playing a gay man for a change when used to seeing him as a straight sleazeball.
Yeah, or a child prodigy doctor.
Yes. So ultimately he becomes the first character that we see die of HIV, even before they really even know what it is and how it happens. He just is the first one to go, and it's seems like an expensive casting call to make for less than an episode, but it definitely, in terms of the marketing material, gets your attention when you see him as the main attraction on those.
Yeah, I'd imagine also that him, sometimes actors do passion projects where they do something that might be close to their heart, and obviously he's a prominent member of the gay community. He might have been hey, this is actually quite a show that I can help put on the map so people can really understand what we've all been through. So, that's I guess the first thing that comes to mind is why he'd do that, or he could just like money and just be like, sweet, I'll do this.
Yeah, true. I can see him being like, yes, this is a story that needs to be told. Let me jump on board and help out in any way I can.
Yeah. Especially when he's gone from being a man sleaze in the other How I Met Your Mother, so completely contrast.
Just watching the show, though, it's wild to sort of see how far society has come in terms of our reaction to gay people, even how some of the families react to their sons coming out.
Yeah.
There's one family that even after their son passes away, they burn everything he owned and any sort of references to him that they own, so all his baby photos, everything.
That's horrible.
Full on.
But you just know that would have happened back in the day, and you look at the Bohemian Rhapsody movie when Freddie came out to his parents didn't have a bar of him, and then I guess they became proud once the Live Aid performance was on, but that was a society norm, how this community was treated, and it's horrible, but it's so nice to see, I guess, how it's changed, and that shirt is Ralph Lau. It's nice for them, I guess.
Yep. And for like a music fan too, this has a really fun 80s and early 90s soundtrack, so
hell yeah.
There's constantly moments where you're like, oh, I know that song. That's a cool song.
Yeah, cool. No, I think I'm going to have to, once I get through my list, I'm going to have to check this out, I reckon.
Yeah, it's a perfect little weekend one because, like I said, it's only 5 episodes, so it's pretty easy to get through quickly. It's sad, but a beautiful show that sort of I highly recommend.
All right.
Anything that you got to check out?
It's funny because you were talking about a British show, so I turned on Amazon Prime and I was going to watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but really just not enjoying it. And people say it gets better after season 3, but I was like, you know what? I just can't persevere. I don't want to waste my time. So I was looking for something else to watch on Amazon Prime just because it was open. And this documentary came up, Banksy and the Rise of Outlaw Art. And I really like street art. One of my best friends when I was younger came from a very rich family, but he decided he wanted to be a street artist as kind of rebellion. And I remember I was dating this girl like 10 years ago, and I was like, oh, let's watch Banksy through the gift shop. I've always had this connection of it. And Banksy and the Rise of Outlaw Art, it's like this documentary that came out last year, and it really shed some light into, I guess, Banksy's story. Like, you don't find out who he is because no one's ever going to find out who he is. But you've always seen like books and documentaries that have touched on aspects of his work and his events of his life, but this like pretty much traced his whole journey. It started with a bang with, remember there was that auction a couple of years ago at Summersby's or whatever, and he had the lady with the balloon.
Yep.
And once it got sold, the painting just dropped down and it got shredded halfway through, and everyone was like, what? And it was just another prank that Banksy did, and then the painting actually went up in value, but from like 2 to 7 million or whatever it was. But it's a really nice look at, like, I guess, Banksy's life, and then where I say British because he's from Bristol, and it just showed about the connection of, like, I guess, like music and hip hop and graffiti in Bristol, and how they used to run all these parties, and then how it went over like Philadelphia and New York. And it's as with, I guess, any street art documentary or show or anything that covers that, there is a lot of legal aspects to it, but it also goes to show the beauty of it and how it really helps, I guess, like troubled teens and help people, I guess, express their art. So it goes about 2 hours. Had to watch it in 2 sittings because, I don't know, something came up. But I really enjoyed it. Like, it was incredible. And it's, as I said, it's on Amazon Prime now. And if you like street art or graffiti or even hip hop and you want to see how this culture evolved from the 80s through to now, yeah, it was bang on. It
will be interesting to see if one day we ever do find out who actually Banksy is. Like, on his deathbed, does he finally just admit that, yes, this was me?
Yeah, because there's talk that he could be a celebrity, or he could be a musician, like an actor or like a musician, and it's just someone branching out. But I reckon he's just some geezer from Bristol and just doing his thing. Because it goes to show like how he first became a prominent artist. He'd go into like the Louvre and all these famous museums and art galleries, and he'd literally just go up, stick a painting on the wall, and then leave, and then like in disguise, incognito, and sometimes would stay up for 2 hours. One stayed up for a couple of days because it was a can of Tesco soup in the style of Warhol's Campbell's soup, and he just put up, and people were like, this must be like an imitation of that. Stayed up, and then that's really how like he exploded onto the map, being like this street artist. Then he obviously popped up doing stuff in streets and Yeah, like he's an incredible artist, and it's just a really nice thing that in this world of technology and everyone knows where everyone is. You open up Snap Maps, you're like, oh yeah, someone's there. No one knows who this bloke is. He's just the ultimate hide and seek champion of the world, and a millionaire while he's at it.
I love the idea of just going into a gallery and just hanging something and seeing how long it stays up for. I'm sure there's galleries where you could get away with it for ages.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But sometimes I'd go to the art gallery because I like New South Wales, because I like going down to the botanical gardens. And you always see security around that. Just for him to be able to do it at like the Louvre and like all these massive art galleries, it's like, did he pay someone, a security guard, off just to walk away for a moment, or he was just like, I'm just going to do this? So
even just like the crowds there, like for someone to just look at it and be like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
it's just some guy hanging a painting for no reason.
And he like, because they showed footage of him doing this, and he was filmed for a few of them, so he had an accomplice with him. So, and this was of the days before camera phones. So I guess there's less cameras around. If you're seeing, like, if I saw a camera back then pointing at someone, I'd be like, oh, what's happening there? But I don't know, he's just hide and seek champion. I like it, so it's very good.
And I saw you've been diving into the Disney Plus catalogue recently.
Yes, because I've wanted to get back into Disney Plus, and now work's picking up again. I'm thinking, okay, I can afford to, I guess, get another subscription service. So I was like, Netflix or Disney Plus, and because Disney Plus has all the Marvel and Star Wars and kid stuff for like my parents' house, I got in, and I finally, somehow, unbelievably, I had no spoilers from The Mandalorian.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how I did it. Maybe I'm the Banksy of the television world, but I guess because I never really wanted to watch it, and then I was just sitting there the other day, and I was like, I'm just going to turn it on, and I've only watched the first 2 episodes, but I can see why everyone loves it. Like, wow. And Baby Yoda's like the coolest character in the world. I'm very happy I'm getting into it, and I was a bit worried that because I never saw the final Star Wars that came out, and I was worried that maybe if I started, I'd miss something with that, but I did some research, and it's a whole little world, and I love it. I think the main Mandalorian actor's great. I think Baby Yoda's even greater, and yeah, I don't know how I escaped no spoilers, that's for sure.
If you're only, like, are you only on season 1?
Yeah, like 2 episodes in.
Oh my gosh, you've got so much to look forward to. Like, that first season is good, but once you hit season 2, it just goes to a new level.
Yeah, wow, okay.
And I'm not going to spoil anything because there is huge, huge implications in the end of the series, so keep pushing through.
But it's something that I have to watch on the big TV, or when I'm going to Bathurst on the train this Saturday and I've got 3.5 hours to kill, can I watch it on my laptop, or do I need that big screen experience? Because I want the full thing, but also I'm going to get stuck in, and if I don't watch it on the train there and when I have downtime there, because I'm staying there for a couple of days, I'm not going to be able to watch it until next Tuesday. I don't know if I can wait that long.
I think season 1 you can probably get away with watching just on the laptop or whatever.
Yeah.
Season 2 is when you sort of do need that big screen because they really up the ante and sort of make it a much more cinematic feel. Okay, yeah, because I don't know how many episodes in the season. I'm too afraid to Google, but I'm sure I can do that over the next few days. And I have friends in Bathurst, so it's not like I'm just going to be bored. So yes, that's my goal for this weekend. One of a few goals, actually. You jumped on Disney Plus at the right time as well. Oh my god! Well, to be honest, the main reason I jumped on it was WandaVision, but then I was just saying to myself, I'll give myself more reasons to do it. And WandaVision is another. First couple of episodes, I was like, oh yeah, I can kind of see what they're doing. This is all right. I'm just going to persevere. And then, whoa. I don't want to give too much away, but I'm watching 2 very good shows at the moment. Go me. Episode 3 of that show, like, really makes it, you go, oh, hang on, I'd need to see the next 7 or 8 or however many are left in this season. It's going on till March 5th, so how many other weeks till then? But it's nice because they're only 20-minute episodes, so it feels like it could have been a movie, but they've just broken it down for the streaming service. So, you know, you're not like committed to hour-long episodes, but it's just the perfect amount of time. But then I just hate the fact, because I watched 4 episodes in a row, now I just hate the fact I have to wait weekly for it. I don't even know when it comes out. Every Friday at 7 p.m. Maybe I'll watch it Saturday morning before I go to Bathurst. Yep, we started that, and yeah, those first 2 episodes are a bit like, this is a little bit weird. Let's see where this goes, and then chucked on episode 3 and was like, okay, yep, now I need to watch all of these.
And the first episode in black and white, I was like, oh, it's 2021, bro. Like, I need colour, but I understand why they did it. And then, yeah, just how they, even the costuming as well when they go through the time periods, and it's just, it's incredible. I was literally in episode 3 and 4. So I was at my parents' house the last couple of days, and they've got a big TV, like a massive TV. It was so good. Like 12 o'clock at night, and I was like full getting hyped. I was like, oh my god! I was like standing up and like, oh! So I was really hyped. So yeah, it's hard not to give anything away, but it's just a show you just need to persevere with. And the good thing is you've got 20-minute episodes rather than hour-long episodes, because obviously people these days have shorter attention spans. So you just get through the do, and it just fits into the universe so well as well. So
yeah, I was talking to Buddy about it after the first 2 episodes, and some of the random facts that I found, like for Vision, they had to paint him blue instead of red for those black and white episodes, so that he came out the right color. They used like period correct lighting and everything. It's just crazy the amount of effort that's gone into it, which is sort of why I said that you jumped onto Disney Plus at the right time, because they've got, obviously you've got all of Mandalorian to get through, then they've got WandaVision, and then they've got a whole slate of shows coming up for the rest of the year that are either in the Marvel universe or the Star Wars universe. In a couple of weeks' time, I think February 23, Star becomes part of Disney Plus, so that's all of the Fox properties and everything that they purchased last year. So you'll have more like adult-oriented material as well to watch in movies like that.
This is so perfect. Marvel's my favourite, and then I like Star Wars as well. I don't need anything else. I'm just hook, line, and sinker in all this. I think it's going to get my passion for television and stuff cracking again. Less time at the pub, more time on TV. That's for sure.
Oh, that's nice and healthy with the no drinking plans.
Yeah, that's my new thing. This is me, gym and TV.
So yeah, for me, I'm still continuing on the New Year's resolution of the 12 books goal. Completed the second one recently, so I finished the Young Bucks book, From the Backyards to the Big Leagues, and this story is a book which spans the careers of Matt and Nick Jackson, who are collectively known as the Young Bucks in AEW.
I like the last names.
Yep. So yeah, these guys, they go from being kids that just love wrestling and convince their dad to build a wrestling ring in their backyard, even though they have no idea how to build a wrestling ring. They just look up online and they get tires and concrete in bits of wood as the ring posts, and eventually build this ring, and they're out there wrestling every day. They eventually sort of start holding little backyard shows with their friends, and they move on to hosting like proper events at the local skating rink and bowling alley and whatnot.
That's wild.
They wrestle on the indies all around the US, or mainly in California, and eventually sort of spreading in the US. They go over to Japan, and then ultimately they sort of become a huge act all around the world, and are pivotal in the formation of All Elite Wrestling. So now they're part of the executive team there and running that promotion.
That's cool.
It's like this really inspiring story about like follow your dreams and push through no matter how hard like the times get. Like there was times where they were pretty much broke, and any money that they were getting was barely covering rent, and the extra money they had was then being invested back into either traveling for shows or new ring gear or merchandise to sell to try and make a little bit extra money. Just craziness.
That's really inspiring. I like that. Do they still wrestle?
Yep. Yeah, they are the current AEW Tag Team Champions.
Oh, wow.
So they, even through the book, they speak about how they use social media to generate more hype for themselves and even like toy with it. So if they see that they're creating controversy out of something, like there was one point where they were this infamous incident with Booker T where they apparently didn't shake his hand when they were doing extra work at a WWE show. So they just toyed with that, and now for one period everywhere they went they refused to shake people's hands and just hyped it up even more than it even really was, and it just made them get all of this extra buzz.
What legends? I like that.
Yep. They talked about how they joined and then split apart the New Japan group known as the Bullet Club, which is sort of one of the biggest factions in wrestling now. It's kind of on the same level as the NWO was back in the 90s.
The heyday.
They talk about how they received a so-called, in air quotes, cease and desist from WWE for using the too sweet hand gesture, which is like you make sort of a wolf with your middle and ring finger and your thumb, and then you all touch like the wolf noses together. And apparently they claim that WWE sent them a cease and desist, but that never actually happened because you cannot trademark a hand gesture.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They talk about their merchandising, how they were literally just investing everything they had into merchandising. One of their wives was sort of helping out with that, and eventually that became her full-time job, so she now does all their merchandising for them. Plus, when AEW formed, she became head of merchandise for that company because she proved that she could grow this tiny little thing into a massive business.
Yeah, cool.
The other major part was they have this YouTube show called Being the Elite, and there was an episode where they infamously invaded Raw like WWE did back in the day with WCW. They only expected to have this tiny little thing. They posted on their social media, hey, everyone meet us at this Hot Topic. We'll do a meet and greet and a signing of merchandise, and then we'll go over to Raw, which is just down the road. They expected maybe 100 people. They ended up having like 2,000 people.
Oh, wow.
All walking down to the arena and standing outside the arena, and yeah, just everything that they've done has just sort of slowly built and just exploded. So now that when they formed AEW, it had all this momentum from not only the big names like Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes and later Sting, but themselves with Kenny Omega and a couple of the other sort of independent, well-known guys in the hardcore wrestling circle. They all came together and formed this big company that's now huge.
Yeah, wow. I like it.
With the book, I love how the chapters, obviously because it's two people, they trade off each chapter. Nick will write one, Matt will write the next one. And like they never really cover the exact same thing, but because they're flowing on from the other one, they can still sort of inject their own different perspectives on different elements. So you really get to know both of the guys rather than just one.
Yeah, that's cool. I like the fact that they've obviously split it up rather than just the perspective of one. So, oh yeah, I'm just looking at them online now. I like their hair.
Yeah. The book ends sort of right as AEW forms. So hopefully in a few years' time, once there's enough of a story, we'll come back with a follow-up that talks about how they grew AEW into this mega promotion.
Oh yeah, because as we've discussed, AEW is getting quite massive, so it's good to hear like that feel-good story about them. I like them. They're my new favourite wrestlers.
Yeah, they're awesome. So fun to watch. And then speaking of AEW, today was AEW Dynamite. This week was sort of a themed episode. So every now and then they'll do these themed episodes that are sort of mini pay-per-view style events. This one was called Beach Break. They opened with this fun tag team battle royal. So all of the tag teams came together and it was kind of like the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah, because that was this week as well.
Yep. So the winner of this match would go on to face the Young Bucks at the next pay-per-view, AEW Revolution, which is on March 8th. The winners were Chris Jericho and MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, and I think just by his name you can sort of gather what his character is. Snobby upper-class guy.
I like it. Him and Chris Jericho together? Ooh.
Yep, they're great together. They both love doing silly things. Then we had a promo segment featuring Team Taz, who is Taz from the old WWE days. And his team consists of Ricky Starks, who is this up-and-coming young star who's, I think, going to be a huge star for AEW. He reminds me very much of like a young Rock.
Okay.
at Revolution, it's going to be Ricky Starks and Brian Cage, who is this ridiculously gigantic, muscly guy, taking on Sting and Darby Allin.
Oh, wow.
Who is another young star that paints half his face, is a former pro skateboarder. He's going to be another big star in the future of AEW.
That's great. I like that. Sting. I like all the fact they've got all these names that people know to get people in, and it sounds like it was a good mini pay-per-view.
Yeah, they do a really good job with these sort of older talents that everyone knows of. They're not featuring them in long, crazy matches where they're the main attraction. These guys are there purely just to highlight these younger guys. So Sting, obviously with the full face paint, ties in really well with the Darby Allin character. So they're just sort of there to say, hey, I approve this guy, follow this guy. And it gives those younger guys that bump of, hey, this is someone I need to watch.
Yeah, of course.
Then, obviously being wrestling, we had a classic wrestling wedding where the bride ended up face first in wedding cake.
Yep.
As always is the way.
That old skit.
Yep. That was a fun one. We had a nice women's match between Mexican wrestler Thunder Rosa versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, who is, in fact, a legitimate dentist.
No way.
And then the big one was probably, there was an announcement of a match for the March 4 episode of Dynamite. Shaq and Jade Cargill.
Oh! What?
Will be wrestling Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet.
DJ Diesel, Shaq. What? Oh my god.
Yep. Jackson will need to watch AEW Dynamite on March 4th.
Is that our March 4th or is that...
That'll be our March 4th, so it's their March 3rd. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on that one.
I'm going to have to do my Banksy impression and not get any spoilers because I have work until 2 p.m. usually 2 p.m. on Thursdays. So I might have to just get no spoilers and then watch in the afternoon because I love Shaq.
Yep. It looks like it's going to be a fun one. And then to close the show, AEW have been doing a really good job recently of... Most of the time when you see a wrestling promotion, they focus only on their talent. AEW have totally shaken up the wrestling industry recently, and they're partnering with lots of different other promotions as well. So they'll have wrestlers come in from Impact Wrestling, another American company. New Japan Pro Wrestling star Kenta showed up today. We also have the NWA, which is another smaller independent promotion. So they're having these guys sort of come in and feature on shows. So the main event today was AEW World Champion Kenny Omega and the Impact Tag Team Champions, the Good Brothers, who are Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows. They took on Jon Moxley, Pac, and Rey Fenix. And then to end the show, the big surprise was Moxley, after the match, was attacked by New Japan's Kenta. So I love the way that they're doing this, where they're having these sort of little mini invasions without it being taking over the show. And yeah, it's totally changing the way wrestling is at the moment, whereas WWE, it's literally, if you're not signed to WWE exclusively, you're not on this show.
Yeah, wow. I like that. That's nice of them. I guess it's a whole new element to attract people in as well, so...
Yeah, I think, and it works for everyone too, because it obviously gets more exposure for AEW and these other smaller promotions, but it also allows their younger talent. So you'll have people like Darby Allin, there's a young tag team, they're going to Impact and wrestling, so they're getting more opportunities to wrestle more consistently rather than simply once a week to improve and get better. Like, you can literally only improve by performing more, so
yeah,
it's working in everyone's favour.
Yeah, nice. Hell yeah.
Definitely have to get you involved in the March 4 Dynamite though.
Man, you just got me with Shaq. It's just things like that just draw me in, and he'll be so funny and no way. But I'm into it. March 4. I'm going to watch it in the afternoon. First thing I do, you're going to tell me how I'm going to get it, and I'm going to get it. I'm going to watch it. I'm into it.
I wonder if we can get Snoop Dogg back for that match too. Shaq and Snoop.
That'd be iconic, jeez.
So yeah, that's pretty much everything for this week. what would be your top recommendation for the week?
Getting Disney Plus, it's just changed my life. Yeah, like I can't pick between WandaVision or Mandalorian, and I just think the overall appeal of Disney Plus is just amazing. If you like Star Wars, if you like Marvel, if you have kids, if you for Pixar, for everything, and I'm sorry to be a bit different this week. I'm just saying get Disney Plus. I think it's amazing.
Very nice. For me, it has to be It's a Sin. Such a lovely show, and 5 episodes. Like, it's easy to watch, and it's actually really, really beautiful and educational at the same time. So, perfect watch, I think.
Yeah, I think I'll have to get onto that between breathing from WandaVision and The Mandalorian. Just need a bit of a break.
Yeah, nice little break between those.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to the commentary booth. If you enjoyed this show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. You can also support us over on Patreon at patreon.com/JamieAppsMedia. I'm expecting the big announcement to come within a week, so keep an eye on that one. You can follow me on social media at JamieAppsMedia, and you can follow Jaxon over on Twitter at Deckhead.
Yes, sir.
The Commentary Booth is a fan-funded production of Jamie Apps Media. You can support the podcast alongside our magazine Jamzine over on Patreon at patreon.com/JamieAppsMedia. The following people supported at the Jam publisher level or higher, and you cannot fathom how incredibly appreciative we are for their support. Brian and June Hart, Courtney Paulson, Tracy Apps.